Hi everybody, Janelle here on the blog today, and I want to teach you guys how to create custom text shapes. And the reason that I want to do this is because how many times have you done a layout where some of your journaling has been hidden by some of your elements? I used to not care about that. I would get a template, just much like this one here, and get my layout done, and then I would just type in the text box all of my journaling and not worry about it, even though some of it would be hidden right here. And it didn't really bother me until I ordered my first book, and I went through and I was reading everything and noticed how much I had actually cut off. Now, I had written it, so I knew what it had said, but eventually I'm sure one day I would forget. But anyone else who had looked at it didn't know necessarily what I had typed. So I wanted to make sure that I would always make sure that all my journaling was visible. And so I started using the space bar. For example, right here, I would use the space bar all the way out on each line to this point to make sure that nothing was covered. And if there were flowers over here, then I would make sure that I pushed the enter button on each line where the flowers needed to to make sure that the flowers weren't covering anything. And it became such a pain because when I would hit enter, it would move the other line, and it took so much time and it wasn't efficient at all. And it became such a pain that I really started to not care that my journaling wasn't going to be showing anymore. And then I found another way, a much easier way, and I want to share it with you today so that you can make sure that your memories are not hidden. So I'm going to go ahead and click off this text box right here. And then what I want to do is I'm going to grab my pen tool, and it's over here in my menu bar, and you can hit P to get to it, and if you don't see it, you can right click and then select the pen tool. The next thing that you want to do is come up here to your pen tool options. Now some of them may have selected the shape layers and some might be paths. You want to make sure that you have clicked on paths, because if you have the shapes one highlighted, it will actually create a shape, and that's not what we want to do. So make sure that paths is selected, and then what we're going to do is come down here and begin to create my custom text box, and all that you need to do is click where you want your shape to be. I'm going to click down here, and if I need to come down here, I can. And then I want to make sure that I'm not hidden by this element right here. You know what, I'll come out a little more there. And then you can see when you get back to the original, there's a little circle up there, and that means that it will close or complete your path. So I'm going to click there, and now I have this path. You can see right here. And all you need to do now is hit the T on your keyboard, or you can select your text options. And then if you bring it over here into your path, you can click. And once you've clicked, you can see that you have your cursor there. You can actually go ahead and start typing your journaling. So put your journaling here. I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste that several times over, just so you can get the idea here. And now you can see that none of it is hidden, but if you look closely, let's go ahead and zoom in here. You can see that I didn't quite get a straight line when I was doing my text box. So what I'm going to do is come over here, and just below the pen tool is this direct selection tool. So I'm going to go ahead and hit A, or click on it, and direct selection tool. Make sure that it's not the path, the filled in arrow, but the white one. And you're going to come up here, and I'm going to click on this corner right here until it turns black, and then I'm just going to use my up arrow key to align the top and make sure that that journaling is straight. And if I would have actually clicked that first path, and then the second time I clicked, held down the shift key, it would have made a straight line for me. I could have saved myself the work there, but I knew I wasn't going to be doing straight lines all the way around, so I didn't do that. But you can see now, I'm going to go ahead and back out. and click off of this here. You can see now no matter what I write in here, it's not going to be hidden behind this little tag. And that was pretty simple and basic because it was just straight lines. Let's say, for example, that I had that this was a text box inside the frame right here, and I want to try and get around all of these little flowers. I would just do the same thing, grab the pen tool, and this time I would just, okay, so let's click, and then if I hold down the shift key and click again, even if I click down here, you can see that it gives me a straight line. And then I'm going to keep clicking, and this time I'm just going to make smaller clicks to go around the edges of these flowers. And there is a different way to do this with the pen tool, but this will make it much easier. And I'm going to go ahead and hold down the shift key and click here, and that will give me a straight line that way as well. And then I'm going to go ahead, and you can see again there's a little circle that will close my path for me. Then I will just click and hit my T for the text. And you can see when it's inside the path, it has what looks like those little parentheses around it. If I go out, it turns into a box. Inside it, that just lets me know that it will let me type in the path. So I can go ahead and type in there and click off, and now you can see that my journaling is around all of the flowers. And again, it wouldn't be hidden if that were a text box that I had created for that. So I hope that you learned something new. These are really, it's really simple to do. Just use your pen tool and click around all of your elements, and then you're done. So hopefully this will help you make sure that your journaling isn't lost under the elements, and that you yourself and anybody who's looking at your page would be able to read it and know what you were talking about and what was going on in these pictures. So thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time.